Yes. Yeah, even if I put, it's so crazy, I put do not disturb, it still interrupts. So I'm going to turn it off.
You could just note down.
No, you know what?
That's okay. It's okay.
Done.
The audio is capturing right now, so we're gonna audio purpose. I'm gonna do this. All right, you can start.
Oh, I start.
Yes.
Alrighty. Hello. Hello, hello. Um, this is the long game, and I'm Patricia Schriftgeiser, as I said to you before. First episode is out in the ether, so I can't control it anymore. And so the idea is to get better and better at it. And having a good team behind me will make things a lot better, a lot faster. Um, Let me say that today is episode 3, will be episode 3. And the topic, and I will read and tell you and talk, it's consistency versus motivation. And why discipline matters more than inspiration. So I wanted to say first that I want you to know this is an episode about showing up. It's not about triumph. It's show up for yourself, and show up for yourself every second of the day, every day of your lives. This is what it is, right? Consistency versus motivation. So here it is. I will read this part. Most people don't fail because they don't want to change badly enough. They fail because they wait to feel ready. They wait for motivation, for clarity, for confidence, for the right emotional moment. And when the moment doesn't come or doesn't last, they assume something is wrong. And from a psychological perspective, the assumption is backwards. Motivation was never designed to carry us through long-term change. It's unstable by nature. It raises and fails with mood, energy, stress, sleep, and novelty. Today I want to explore why discipline matters more than inspiration in psychotherapy and in sports and in life. So discipline, not as a harsh demand, just a quiet, stabilizing force. So I want to kind of spend a minute on this. Discipline. It's not to feel stressed about uh, having the discipline for something. It's to understand that it's a quiet, stabilizing force. Discipline contains us. Discipline gives us a frame of work. Doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It's just what happens with discipline. It makes it everything predicted for us. So this is somewhat a key here, because maybe there is some sort of a cliche about the theme about discipline in society, but discipline is it's a very guiding force for our things to go right. Um, so motivation really is, what is really motivation? It's a state of mind. It's not a trait. So what is motivation influenced by? Influenced by mood, my nervous system arousal, stress levels, perceived reward, and novelty. Motivation spikes when something feels new or emotionally charged. And it fades when the work becomes repetitive, slow, and uncomfortable. And this is not a moral failure, that's biology. Important statement. Dopamine doesn't reward endurance, it rewards anticipation. And so I want to say something about this because it's another one that it's probably a misconception. I hear that in my clinical practice, I hear that uh, as an endurance athlete. It's, oh, I need to get motivated to go to the gym. No, you need to go to the gym, feel how you feel by doing that, which is showing up for yourself. And then there is where the anticipation happens. You get the dopamine, and then the gym happened or the run happened, whatever you do, and then you get there to start the discipline of doing it. I was thinking today when I was coming here, driving to be here, that my dopamine started to flow when I was writing episodes for this long game podcast, which I have to announce you, it's going to be a long game podcast, meaning you will have me and my guests, or my guest and I, or this, or content, and fun stuff, and serious stuff, and all kind of stuff for the longest time. Like my thing is the long game. So I had all kind of emotions. Obviously butterflies in my stomach, obviously doubts. Some stuff can get in the way for you to not to do what you want to do. Yet, it was rewarding to think that I was going to be doing this. So when people say, I just can't stay motivated, what they are describing is a nervous system doing exactly what is evolved to do. The problem begins when we build our lives around that fluctuation. Rewiring our brain is basically building habits that will create the discipline based on the habits, create the discipline so we don't lean or depend on motivation. I will go to another point that I want to cover. Yes? Yes, we can. Oh, there. Oh, I like this.
Can you come up a little bit more? You do that.
Love this standing up thing too.
I like standing up too.
I do. It's very nice.
One thing is, you look good with wearing over the white.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Here.
It's just I like that the episodes are going to be also 12 minutes or like shorter.
Yeah, shorter the better actually.
Yeah. So I'm skipping because I can see how it can get. So I'm skipping to another point that I like.
Okay.
So, how we integrate this thing about discipline in real life, and I probably also will integrate with the sports, the endurance sports, or the gym, or the team sports, whatever you do uh, as a sport, as your sport. But how do we integrate this in real life, the discipline? So it's not through rigid discipline. Nobody tells you, nobody tells us, nobody tells me to be rigid about anything. It's to understand uh, that discipline is a container. It's a frame for us. It's keeps us in a, like probably what it is, a job, right? We don't question that a job is a certain time of hours. Let's put the cliche 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So that is almost, no, that is creating the discipline. We know that we have to comply with that. So not through rigid discipline, but through minimum viable consistency. In mental health is keeping appointments when you don't feel like, keeping appointments when you think you feel great the day that you have an appointment. So in mental health is keeping an appointment when you feel fine, practice regulation skills even when they feel pointless, measure progress in months, not in mood. In sport, show up at a sustainable level with your expectations. Prioritize frequency over intensity, and let the body learn safety through repetition. And I have stories to tell you here. In life, reduce decisions, anchor habits anchor habits to identity, not to emotions, and stop asking, as if you have the right, do I feel like? Is this how I take care of myself? Consistency doesn't require belief, it requires agreement. How's that? um, in, in, um, in sports, um, this integration into daily life, the discipline, is prioritize frequency over intensity, right? I train for in a higher competitive level. And it's not that I do go once a week and kick my ass on swim, bike, run, and do it all in one day, and that's it. It's more frequency. It's every day. Today is weights, tomorrow is run. Then it's spaced in a way, strategic way. Motivation comes and goes. That's not a flaw, it's a feature. Discipline stays, not because it's harsh, it's because it's faithful. I love that concept. Discipline is faithful. Consistency is how we remain in relationships with ourselves when the feeling fades. And I have to say, also in relationships with others. Um, Healing doesn't announce itself, strength doesn't arrive all at once. Trust is built quietly over time. This is the long game. So I have a question for you. Where in your life are you waiting to feel ready instead of choosing to be consistent? Great question.
Nice, nice. Let's try. High chair.
Yeah.
I think this will be the best for you.
Okay.
Yeah, can you, hold on.
Very nice too. More casual.
Yeah, so can you sit either like this? A little bit
To the side.
to the side.
Yeah.
To that side, to that side. Yes. Not too much, not too much. Not a little bit forward. Yes, yes, that's good. That's good.
Wow. Looks nice.
Better, right? I think
Yeah.
you have a better with, a little
Yeah.
bit on the side.
I have to be careful not to go like this. Stay up. Okay, I do have here a couple of things to say that I find I truly believe will be very useful to to hear. And I do have a question to pose for you, and but I will pose the question, and I probably want to elaborate a little bit myself too. Question: where in your life are you waiting for motivation to return, instead of learning how to stay when it doesn't? And this one, to me, as many of the things that part of my legacy, this is why the long game was created by me. The, the concept of the podcast um, and writing about things that I observed over the last 40 plus years, as I said before, in my personal life, in my professional life, and in my athletic life. And all of them have the, the all of them cross each other and nurture each other. I like that more, nurture each other. So the question, where in your life are you waiting for motivation to return instead of learning how to stay where it doesn't? And I will pick, let's say, one personal, it's just life, but it's personal, right? Not every time I go out to train, I feel like. And sometimes I do feel like, and if it's in a run or a bike or the swim, or the gym, or going to legs day with my trainer, right? Legs day tends to be always heavy load work, and sometimes it's a little daunting, as personally I drive too, And then you gotta kind of like maybe you gotta stay with it. You gotta push yourself with your discipline and consistency that we spoke before. So let's say a run that I may be somewhat motivated to go, and in the middle it's too hot, too cold, too something, that you have the power to cut short and go back home and call it a day. And there is where the middle exists. There is where, no matter how you feel, you don't lean on the power of being free to make those decisions. You lean on the consistency, the habit, the discipline. So if I go for a run and I said I'm going to do 3 miles today, I'm going to do 3 miles today. And if at mile and a half some difficulty shows up, you deal with that, you don't quit. And relationships, right? What's happening when it gets some sort of a rough patch in a friendship, in a marriage, in a partnership, partners at work, at home, the kids? What happens? Do we quit? Do we leave? What do we do? The ideal is to stay in it, not to exercise the freedom to say, you know what, I'm out of here. No, you're not. If it's a work situation, you definitely need the paycheck, if that's a paycheck. So you can't go, I'm out of here. So external circumstances will force you to work on how, your circumstances will force you to work on how you stay with it. And I would say the real work is the middle, the unremarkable, the uncomfortable. The middle isn't a problem to solve, it's where you have to stay and do the work. So the middle in everything, like I said before, right? The middle in relationships, the middle, I'm writing this. In the middle, I can get distracted and I want to go and do something. We are all guilty of scrolling, which I'm saying it's the dopamine dump. So you really stay, you force yourself to stay with it, and when it becomes uncomfortable, unremarkable, the middle, you don't have to solve it, you have to stay. The middle of a race, in the sports, right? The race becomes uncomfortable. Again, your legs are screaming, your muscles are giving up on you. The wall it's very close. Mile 20 in a marathon. And what happens? You just know that part is uncomfortable. That part is not that sexy. That part is almost an agony many, many times. You just regroup to stay in it, and you do the work. Relationships. People would be not honest to say that their marriage didn't go through moments where it was not great, disagreements, a little tips here and there, and or often. So you stay in it, you do the work, you feel uncomfortable, you feel annoyed, angry, whatever you feel, and you do the work, and you stay in the uncomfortable to see how to fix things. So that is in a relationship, any relationship. I had a personal story. The Ironman in Kona, the championship, 2022. I trained for it for a long time, pretty much a year. I was equipped physically and mentally to do what I needed to do and deliver. And I had an accident not a month, 2 months before, so it could have been to call the race out, but I didn't. And I will make the story a little shorter, but it was a long story. but I want to say what happens with the motivation, what happens with staying in the most uncomfortable and try to solve it, doing the work. So the moment of the race day, in the middle of the race at mile 95 on the bike, I fell off the bike because I had a nausea moment, and I wouldn't go in details. And I fell off the bike climbing a hill. Um, my friends following with the GPS and my husband, they thought that was it. They were trying to figure out how upset I was going to show up that I couldn't finish the race. What happened in my mind, in the middle of nowhere by myself, is I shake the pavement, I look at my cuts, I thought it was doable. My bike was not great. I put my bike up, climb my bike or hop on my bike, and push through to the finish, and I finished the race. Why am I sharing this story? It became remarkably uncomfortable, very, very painful, and I decided to stay, troubleshoot, and do the work that I was equipped with. So I knew I had what it takes to do it and to complete. The message here is always stay in it and try to find a way, to find a way, to find a way to get the job done. Whether it's a race, whether it's clarity in a relationship that needed to have clarity, and in real life, whatever we do, we need to stay in it. That is the question that I was asking also, I wanted to leave you with, right? Where in your life are you waiting for motivation to return instead of learning how to stay when it doesn't? I think it's a very cool thought to leave you with. And maybe one more, or not. Okay, we good.